Nothing like the smell of coffee and hops in the morning. Good morning, B's and G's. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. It's another early Friday morning edition. I got my coffee brewed. It's not that early. It's 6:45 a.m. and but it's quiet in the neighborhood. Wife's asleep upstairs. I got me some fresh coffee. Oh, and hops. That's right, I've got hops. Beautiful 3 1/4 ounces of hops. It's time to add those babies right over there. Oh yeah. It's also racking day. It's time to rack over this beer. Get it into a keg. Oh, that already smelled amazing. 3 more days for that bad boy. I don't know how I'm gonna find time, but I gotta rack it over on Monday, so we'll see. And then I'm gonna get cleaned up and get ready, and we're gonna get this other one going into a keg. So I've been using the OxyClean. This is the dye, perfume, and chlorine free version. Get it pretty cheap at Walmart. It seems like it's done a pretty good job. I haven't actually gone back and done PBR. If someone's got a better product, let me know. I'm always curious. I like to take these apart every time. So start off, go to my gas side. Pop that down into that one. Already got the lid in there. Oh yeah, got some hops in the tube a little bit. Put that over. And I take the tube all the way out. I'm going to let this sit for a good while, and then I'm going to go ahead and run this through my lines. Meanwhile, I've had this under pressure, and it's been full of sanitizer. So basically I got one ready to go. I always have them ready like that. Then I also like to, one more time, go to my beer outline and disconnect it, because it's going to hold some of that sanitizer in the line. That'll allow it to flush right there. And yes, I'm one of those. After this has been sitting in here for, who knows, maybe months, I still like to give it a, as Sammy the Thrifty Brewer would say, a rinsey poo. Alright, now I got a bucket. I'm doing sanitizer in, which will then be used in this keg afterwards. when we get to the sanitization portion. And then also I'm all set up for racking over because I'll get this siphon all cleaned up. Move it to the other one now. Yeah, that cold well is going to work awesome. All right, next phase is going. No problem. That beer's still at 70.1 Fahrenheit, so that's pretty good. You can probably see from the line, this one's a little bit darker competition beer. And from the hops I put in, you can see that the other one is going to be a lighter competition beer. For a competition. Well, I'm racking beer over for a competition into a keg right now. Alright. Yeah. And it should start backing up all the data. So we're making a backup of it all first, just to be sure. I always like my insurance policy. Oh really? It's done already? Awesome, that's fast. And then type menu and enter. Yeah, and so the first date is probably 1/1/1991. Okay, so that's okay. You can run that. It's the second date that we're going to change. For inquiring minds, yes, I was supporting a DOS computer system. All right, this has been soaking for well over an hour. And I do eventually want to get a good keg cleaner. I think that'd be great, but meanwhile, this is what I do. And we're going to get this hooked up and run it all through our lines in the house, beer lines. I don't know if you can see this, but one of the things I've done with my tanks is my beer out line has a green O-ring and my gas line has a red. My gas line is a red line, so it matches. And then green is for go. Out comes the beer, right? It's made it really simple to make sure I'm always doing everything correct. Alright, and I've already rinsed out my brew bucket. And so now we're going to start flushing the lines. That first part I'm going to toss. So now basically I'm going to run the entire 5 gallons through there, and I'll be putting it over right into my fermentation bucket so that can sit and soak. Alright, the beer lines have been run. I've got the OxiClean over here in my fermentation bucket. I'll top that off in a moment. Meanwhile, over here, I've got the sanitizer I used for cleaning my siphoning hose and attachments earlier. And I did separate out the bottom of the siphon. I always do that. Made sure that was all nice and clean. Rubbed it down with a sponge and then let it soak more in the cleaner. So now we're just moving that over into the sanitizer. And we're going to just do the, let it run through and siphon into our keg, which will take care of a couple birds with one stone. Alright, one little dilemma. I had a problem with the siphon. I've got another one, so I'm in good shape. But this little piece, okay, it goes on the inside here, connects on the inside so it can go up and down and close the hole. How do you get that back in there if this is sealed on there? Let me know. Alright, meanwhile we got all the bits and bobs in here, you know, soaking in sanitizer as well. And we'll get them all nice and clean. And after this sits for, let's say, an hour in sanitizer, we're going to run that through the beer lines. Alright, the fermentation bucket sat in OxyClean, and that has been dumped. And my keg has been sitting in the sanitizer for, because of work and things, probably about 2.5 hours, I'd say. Should be more than enough. We've got her in here. I actually did a short rinse to clean the line of the OxyCleaner, and now I'm just running through the sanitizer. And we'll run this whole thing out to clean the lines, and use all of this inside the brew bucket to sanitize that. And I'll make a light, fresh batch of sanitizer to put back in this, put a little gas on it, and set it away for storage.
Oh, here he comes. He's going to go slow now. Okay.
Did Grandpa take movies of Eli jumping?
On the way up, it is Bill Stein, away from us, keeping an eye on Matt's fuselage, moving the throttle, moving the ailerons, moving the rudder, and moving the elevators, but you can't see that to stay in that very tight formation. That is the mark of the Force Aerobatic team. Responsibility of that team leader, Matt Chapman, in the yellow Embry-Riddle Special, is to think like a team leader and slow your reactions down. The altitude, the airspeed for the team. Not looking at his instruments, not looking at the ground, but constantly adjusting. Formation, a very tough discipline. Whether you're
50 miles an hour, got 25,000 horsepower. If you want to translate that to thrust like a jet airplane, it's 12,500 pounds of thrust. Using the light off that afterburner. Little Bird Roll by Hayden Profit and Hot Streak 2. There you go.
It's almost an airplane.
All right, he's setting up out there on the line. Watch him. Gonna bring it to a standstill. Check all the gauges, just like in an airplane. Make sure everything is in the green. Chutes are packed good. He's already checked those before he left. Listen for the wind-up. I'm not going to talk as he goes by because I want you to hear him. He lights off the afterburner and comes screaming by. Here we go. Stand by. Few little sonic booms there. Fire. Here we go.
Did you see how fast it
went about twice the quarter mile there. 287. 287 and a half. Wow.